The Lenovo Legion Go was officially revealed on Friday, September 1st, just as the leaks predicted. But while the leaks were right about the official unveiling and some other details, there are at least a few things that the leaks got wrong, and maybe some more that Lenovo isn't telling us about the Legion Go. The price is said to be $699 as opposed to the predicted $799, but it's unclear if that price is for the Z1 Extreme model or perhaps the price for the base Z1 model, which is also going to be released. In addition, variable refresh rate was one of the leaked features, but it was conspicuously absent from the official reveal. Was it planned but then removed, or is something else going on? And interestingly, Lenovo didn't comment on one of the most important factors. So let's get into it. So I read every article I could find and watched every video I could find, and I would highly recommend the Dave 2D video as it does have the most in-depth coverage. It seems like Dave also had the Legion Go for longer than other people previewing the device, with Dave having around a week to play around with it, and other people seemed like they were perhaps trying it for the first time. All of the previewers said that this might be the best PC handheld yet, and Dave 2D specifically said that it's the best of the bunch because this is going to play first-person shooters well thanks to the FPS mode and mouse functionality that was leaked before the reveal. Basically, it works exactly as we were thinking. You can set the right control down into a hockey puck, and Lenovo said that it will eventually attach magnetically in the final version. In any case, this hockey puck comes with the device and it's conveniently stored in the carrying case that also comes with the device. Dave noted that this case also has a little cutout for the charging port, which is pretty damn neat. Anyway, before you set the right control into the hockey puck, you'll have to toggle FPS mode. This is going to disable the traditional buttons and enable the mouse buttons, as well as the mouse sensor itself. Then you're off to the races and can play online shooters pretty well. After a week of using it, Dave felt like he could maintain his master rank in Overwatch, and I think it's time to revisit my aiming tier list because based on what I'm seeing here, this vertical mouse should be S tier right behind the traditional mouse. Flick stick and trackpad would be A tier, and of course old-fashioned analog sticks are, well, let's just say that they're below those. In any case, yeah, I'm impressed with how the mouse seems to work. As I was saying before the official reveal, it feels like Lenovo are doing a pretty good job of justifying the existence of the Legion Go by doing something different than the other devices on the market. The big problem with this mouse mode is that games are going to have a range of support for mixed inputs, and this problem is sort of exacerbated by using Windows. And when I say mixed inputs, I'm referring to using both a controller and a mouse simultaneously. The Verge reported that there were instances, for example, where they were told to press escape, which doesn't exist, or one game that kept telling them to press B0. This is because, as The Verge put it, some of the games they played, quote, seemed to think that they were running on a mouse and keyboard, end quote. Mind you, the Legion Go that they were testing had a suite of games pre-installed, and they were not allowed to try any others. Those games include Power Wash Simulator, Quake 2, Evil West, and A Short Hike. You would think that the games that were preloaded would show off the best possible experience on the Legion Go, but at the end of the day, mixed inputs is just not a wide standard, and so game developers aren't testing for those edge cases. Beyond those examples, there are games that outright block mixed inputs. You are literally not able to use the mouse to aim while using an analog stick to move in games like God of War. And as I said, all of this is exacerbated by Windows, which sort of limits the options that are available to us and is still not optimized for handheld gaming. The Verge points out that, quote, even if you are working hand in hand with Microsoft, optimizing for handheld gaming is a hard feat to pull off, but unlike Asus, who worked closely with Microsoft, Lenovo told The Verge that Microsoft was not involved with the development of the Legion Go in any significant way, end quote. We did get some peeks at Lenovo's own handheld software called Legion Space, but it's said to be super beta, and I don't think any previewers were allowed to provide any in-depth coverage of this software. Speaking of mouse inputs, Dave 2D said that the trackpad was comfortable to use despite being so low on the controller, but I still have my doubts. It seemed like he was saying it was comfortable to use as a pointer when navigating the desktop and not necessarily to use it for aiming when playing video games. Even when he did briefly show off using it, it seemed like he wouldn't be able to reach the shoulder buttons, which would be imperative for first-person shooters. Alright, so the specs from the leak were all correct as well. 8.8-inch IPS display, 2560 by 1600 resolution or Quad HD, and 16 gigabytes of LPDDR5X RAM at 7500 MHz. Android Authority said that the games that came pre-installed all ran Quad HD native pretty flawlessly. That may be true for the games shown off, but I think the tech chap gave a better synopsis of what the APU is capable of when he said, quote, "Performance-wise, the Z1 Extreme is roughly 50% faster than the Steam Deck and broadly speaking is capable of playing most AAA games at medium settings if you drop the res down to 720p, end quote. On the Lenovo Legion Go, I think that running 800p or using FSR2 sets of performance on really demanding games should still get you a good experience. What's most impressive is that according to a video from Techspert, there's a slider that can take this device all the way up to 48 watts TDP. The ROG Ally is limited to 30 watts when plugged in, so this could be helpful for squeezing out better performance, but it's important to keep in mind that there are usually diminishing returns at these power ranges for APUs like this one. Of course, that leaves the question of battery life. Every single video and article covering the Legion Go said that Lenovo didn't give any estimates on battery life. That is the one piece of information that is now sorely missing. Of course, we know the size of the battery at 49.2 watt hours, and while that is 25% bigger than what is in the ROG Ally and the Steam Deck, it seems undersized given how big the device is and the Quad HD resolution. It seems likely that this would burn through battery faster than the ROG Ally, and so that leaves me wondering if the battery life wouldn't just be the same as the Ally despite the 25% increase in capacity. I expect we're not going to hear more about that until a review embargo lifts closer to the release date of October 23rd. Speaking of which, all the reviews mention that the price for the Legion Go will start at $699 US or 799 euro. The prior leaks had stated $799 and 799 euro. So it appears that those leaks were wrong. It's also possible that those leaks were correct and that maybe $699 is the price of a model that has the less powerful Z1 chip. But I don't know if that's the case. At this point, I'm going to take the $699 price tag at face value. And yeah, like I mentioned, this will release officially on October 23rd, just in time for the holiday season. No word yet on whether these are going to appear in big box stores, but I don't see why not, given that Lenovo already has that full supply chain in place. Again, I expect that we're going to learn more in the next few weeks leading up to the release. The other thing that the leaks got wrong here are the price of the Legion glasses. It looks like these are going to be $329 as opposed to the predicted $499. That new price is a lot more sensible given what's on the market already. I also wanted to make a quick note on the kickstand and build quality of the Legion Go. Dave 2D gave a lot of praise to both. He said that the hinge for the kickstand seemed really well made and even called it tanky. He opened up the device and said that the backplate is not as easy to get off as the Deck or the Ally, but also said that it's really well made Legion caliber plastic device. He didn't do a teardown beyond that, but we got a nice peek at the black PCB. It's pretty neat. The analog sticks are Hall sensor, but they're also removable. So yeah, overall this seems like a sturdy, well-built machine. So far, I continue to be impressed by the Lenovo Legion Go. I honestly don't know if it's going to fit my lifestyle because while I do enjoy a good boomer shooter, I'm not playing competitive first-person shooters like Overwatch. More importantly, even though I love the concept of removable controllers, I often play my handheld in bed before going to sleep, so it doesn't really make sense for me to detach controllers since I don't have a surface to stand up the device, nor do I have a surface to use a mouse. It's just not what I'm doing, but I am really curious and I'd love to try it for myself. What do you think? How would you use the Legion Go? Let me know in the comments. Deck Gang out. Goodbye.